Hi guys, I'm James at Bespoke and welcome back to another episode of Bringing It Home, and in this episode we're looking at the KWA QRF Mod.1. So we'll take a quick look at what you get in the box with the QRF Mod.1. Obviously it comes in much nicer branded boxes compared to when they did the TK45 series. So you've got the gun itself, you've got one magazine, you've got manuals, some rail sections for the M-lock, and then you've got the tool for adjusting the FPS as well. So let's just quickly get this out here. So here it is, the QRF Mod.1. You get one 80 round curved style magazine with the gun as well. So another great release here from KWA. If you know me from the previous Bring It Home videos, I fell in love with the TK45. As you can see, it's had some heavy modifications since I've owned it. And I've always said, I think when we did the Ronin T6, I said the M-lock front ends that they do are far superior to the key mods, in my opinion. They just look a lot sleeker. They've got a better mounting system. So you've got a nice 6-inch M-lock rail system on the front here. You've got PTS iron sights, which are the polymer iron sights, which are some of the best iron sights I've found for airsoft money. You've got their new muzzle brake. You've obviously got the receiver, which accepts these curved 80 round mid-cap magazines, ambidextrous controls throughout for the bolt release, the mag release, the fire selector. The mag release actually has 3, so you can use a push button style like an M4 on either side, or you've got like an MP5 style mag release underneath. The magazines do have a follower that feeds every round, so you do have to make sure, it comes with a warning sticker on top of the magazine, that you push that follower in if you're going to load the magazine into the gun when it's empty to save damaging the follower. The bolt does hold open, the faux bolt that is, that hides the hop-up unit, which is a rotary style hop-up unit with the most anticlimactic release of a fake bolt in the airsoft industry. It's not good at all. Moving back towards the stock, they've got like the TK45 Ronin 6 style stock. Loads of batch space there. You can fit the AirTech Studio extensions as well. The TK45 ones will fit straight on, but then they've given the sleeker design to the stock with this MP5 style butt pad here. It is hard plastic, it's not rubber at all, but it gives you a much better feel when it's shouldered. The stock can be ripped out from its closed position. It just pulls straight out. You've got 3 positions. You've got most closed, you've got a middle position which is there, and the final position is out. To put the stock back in, you just press the latch underneath and the stock will slide forward. PTS style grip on here as well. No connecting plastic piece like on the TK45. That is kind of its own model there. But you know, same sturdy KWA construction. There's no flex or whatever in this thing at all. But rather than me keep babbling on about this in front of the camera, because I know you're probably moaning about me having a black t-shirt, we're going to get to the close-up, and we're going to take a close look at this thing. Then we're going to chrono it, do an accuracy test, and then we've got some pretty cool plans for these things. I think they sold out pretty much straight away, but we do have a much bigger order coming from the US, so bear with us. So here it is, the KWA QRF Mod.1. As you can see, it's a very futuristic style MP5, M4 mashup. Not an MP4, I don't know where I got that from. But you've got solid metal construction throughout. The only polymer parts you have are the stock, the pistol grip, and obviously the iron sights as well. You've got this beautiful 6-inch M-lock front end on here with their new style muzzle brake, which is 14mm counterclockwise if you want to put any different accessories on there. You've got this very PMAG-esque style curved MP5 looking magazine with the extended follower, and what this means is it will feed every round when you've finished firing. So you're firing the gun, this extended follower pushes the last few BBs up, so when you take the magazine out, none fall out. What you do have to make sure of though, they do come with a warning sticker on these magazines, is you have to make sure that this follower is pushed in, clicked into place before you insert it into the gun when it's empty. Obviously you're going to push that down to fill it up with BBs anyway. Goes in with a nice audible click. You've got mag release on the left hand side. Oh, you've got a mag release on the left hand side as well as the right hand side, which is more like a conventional M4 style. But you've also got an ambidextrous MP5 style magazine release, which is I think the one that I would use to take the magazines in and out. You've got the hop cover, which is the fake bolt cover. The fake bolt there, which locks into place by pushing up the bolt release. Sorry, I'm just trying to dance around the bipod at the moment. Tripod even. Not the best sound at all from that, but it's not the end of the world, trust me. You've got a rotary style hop unit there. Nice and easy to adjust. I just recommend switching out these standard hot rubbers because they're not very good at all. Wondering if we can get this in shot here. You've got PTS style iron sights, flip-up iron sights, nice and audible, positive clicks when you pop them up and down. 20mm rail on the top all the way along. For your accessories, you've got a 20mm rail section here at the front as well. It does come with, let's take a look, a little packet of bits and pieces in the box. You've got some stickers there, that'll do for demonstration purposes. If you haven't seen them already, these are the two models. You've got the Mod.1, which is the curved magazine, the Mod.2, which is more like an ARP9 or the Classic Army X9, stuff like that. Obviously it's going to have much sturdier build quality. Also in the box, got some do's and don'ts and certain bits and pieces about the rifle, how it works. I think that's more like a generic KWA thing rather than something specific. They've got their normal warranty bits with the KWA sticker. You've got your tool for adjusting the spring tension to dial that up or down slightly. And then you've got two M-lock. And I like the fact they do this because not a lot of companies do. They give you two M-lock rail sections. They are polymer. They give you the Allen key to adjust them as well, which is usually a 2.5 or a 3mm. So you've got M-lock style rail segments there, so you can add those on if you're not using M-lock accessories that go straight on. The Pts Grip is a lovely touch as well. These are very comfortable indeed. They do have something very similar on the TK45, but it's sort of molded into the rest of the rifle. You can see it's about a similar size. I think the TK45 is a little bit longer. But I do much prefer the stock pad that they've put on the T6, and now they've updated it for the Mod.1 as well to more like of an MP5 style butt pad. You can see we've got some less desirable markings on here. Obviously serial number's not too bad, QRF Mod.1's not too bad, but I don't like the fact they put this Cal 6mm on there. It was one of the first things I took off on my TK45 when I Cerakoted it. You've got made in Taiwan or manufactured in Taiwan on the right hand side. Some M-lock markings. And your fire selector, which is safe, semi and full auto. For the firing test, we're going to be using 0.2 gram BBs for the Chrono, which will do 10 shots, and then we tend to do a rate of fire test. I'm using 11.1, very small type battery with this. You will get different results in terms of rate of fire if you're using a 7.4 style battery. Obviously 11.1s do put out a little bit more voltage, obviously, so they do turn over a little bit quicker, but it's what I use in all my guns, so I just take that as you will. These can handle 11.1. I've been using 11.1 in my TK45 for well over a year now, however many months ago it was that it was released and I picked one up. I've never had an issue to the point where I put the gate tightener in, still never had an issue, but I'm not, do as I say, not as I do. 7.4s, volt lipos all day, every day will be the most reliable choice for you. So I'm actually really excited for this platform. The magazines come in packs of 3. These are 80 rounds. The TK45 mags and the Mod.2 magazines are more of a straight style magazine. They do have a bit more length, so they are about 120, but it is not the end of the world at all. 80 rounds is more than enough. And if you're struggling with 80 rounds, you might as well use high caps. Unfortunately, you can't get high caps for this thing. It is their own proprietary magazines. So yes, as I said, I want to do something interesting with this thing. A few ideas have been bouncing around between me and a buddy of mine who came to visit, and I said, look, do you want to take a look at this new rifle I've I've got next door. So he said, yeah, he said, you know, it'd be cool if you did like like a modern MP5. What if HK modernized the MP5 platform and tried to release it as something, and perhaps we'll do something like that, sort of a bit of a, not a parody, but sort of a mashup between what HK may have done if they wanted to release an MP5 for the future. So we could literally go with like perhaps that 3-tone tan color that they do, perhaps something like that with some HK trades on. Not genuine HK trades on, no, we don't do that. That's copyright infringement, but you know, we can do like sort of a close type thing. Because remember, this is a gun that they don't make, but it might be a bit of fun to do something a little bit different. So, you know, I've got bronze guns, I've got green guns, I've got loads of others being cerakoted in black and tan and OD. So let's do something a little bit strange. However, enough babbling on for me. Let's get to the chrono and accuracy test. Obviously, for the chrono, I'm using 0.2s, as I said before. The accuracy test, I'm using 0.3s. The hop has not been touched out of the box. It's exactly how I received it. And we'll see how this thing does. So I took a couple of shots to dial in where the iron sights were, but you know, majority of them fell within this bullseye of the target, which is about thumb size. And then this was just rocking on full auto, so you don't get much variance there at all. So I'm pleasantly surprised and happy with that performance. So a respectable 340-ish FPS there, a few a little bit higher, a few a bit lower. It will of course settle down as the gun is used, because this is brand new out of the box. What I have found with these KWAs and found with mine through use, you know, used it on site and taking the thing apart. If you didn't see it, I did a full takedown series on that gun and the gearbox, which will be similar to this one as well. They do benefit from a ported piston head, so I've got a max model piston head in the TK45, just because there's nothing ported on the standard KWA piston head. I mean, I've not had a QRF part yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to find the same thing, just a flat face piston head. So there's nothing applying pressure to the O-ring to keep that seal nice, which is what might be why you get that little up and down variance. So I fully recommend doing that, and I also recommend doing the hot rubber straight out of the box, because KWA doesn't fit the greatest hot rubbers, but literally a hot rubber change and this thing's performance will just, you know, increase so much, and it will be a lot more predictable when you fire it. I love the fact that KWA put PTS accessories on these things. I love the M-LOK front ends. We've got the T10s coming, which are like, they've got the M-LOK front end, but they're a 10-inch front end, obviously, and they take M4 mags. And they've got the ERG part of the gun that's towards the rear, which is the recoil stock as well. But yeah, the accuracy was exactly where I think it was. I did use the iron sights for the first couple of shots and noticed that the gun was firing lower than where these are positioned, so obviously these need to be set. So all I did was eyeball it, and I tried to keep it pretty much as steady as I could. So on semi-auto and full auto, it's absolutely perfect for close engagements. But with these things, I mean, this setup that I'm running in the TK45, the barrel is only like 200 and something mil long, 217 mil long, I think it is. And with some certain upgrades fitted into that gun, it's sending 0.3s out to about 70-80 meters, and I'm not overemphasizing those figures. And it's only doing 350 FPS. So with a variable velocity system, you can just dial it up. So let's say you're firing at 330 FPS out the box. There is a bit of variance, but you do want to dial it up a little bit. Obviously, you need to be careful on your sight rules. You don't want to be too close to that limit, but you use the tool included. It goes through the back of the quick spring changer. You can just take out and swap springs, and you just turn it clockwise to dial the spring guide in, just that little bit to give you that solid, consistent FPS where you want it. KWA have been doing really well with these latest releases. They've done really well with the TK45. They did really well with the Ronin T6. They've done the QRFs. There's the T10 coming. I think there's a lot more models. We've got a lot of models on the way to us at Bespoke Airsoft. External quality wise, barring the fake bolt that they put on there, it's a very, very difficult brand to beat. And I've held pretty much every airsoft rifle that, barring very, very few, some of the rare stuff. And KWA always seems to be that one that you seem to remember, like, oh, you know, taking that gun out of the box or having that gun for however many years now. It's still just as rigid as the day I bought it. And with a few accessories and upgrade parts. I mean, this is running, it's got the upgraded piston head, it's got a gate tighten. I think it's got an upgraded motor and gear set just to make it a little bit faster, because I wanted to run it on 7.4s and not 11.1s, which is what I run all my other guns on. And it's pushing those rounds out to ranges that I just didn't think was possible with such with an AEG platform like that. So absolutely superb. As you can see, I'm a massive fan of SMG style replicas. The PP19, you've got the MP5, MP7, the TK45, I've got my M45. There's another 3 or 4 guns of mine in bits downstairs because I'm Cerakoting and doing some really cool stuff with. You'll see there's a few guns missing, so I've tried to fill in where the spaces are. You'll see some G&G stuff that we're going to be looking at very, very soon. You know, how funky and quirky does that look? The SMC9, which is a great replica, but this, it's quite strange. I'm definitely going to be picking one of these up when there's one available. It's strange how I like SMGs, and with the MP5, I've gone straight mag, but with like sort of the more modernish, futuristic style MP5, I've gone for the curved mag rather than the straight mag, because the Mod 2 does have straight style Glock mags. These are sort of modelled after a P mag, so they do have a nice texture and feel to them. Again, I think I'm going to do something pretty cool with this. I think what I'm probably going to do with the QRF Mod.1 when I get my hands on one, unless I get to keep this one, is perhaps do a build as like an as if build. You know, as what if HK decided to do a modern MP5 and bring this sort of not that there's anything wrong with the MP5, but bring this sort of design into the future. I think we should do something like that with this and get creative. So we'll get doing that. So thanks for tuning into this review. I hope you've liked the QRF Mod.1. Any questions at all, feel free to ask us. We've got another big delivery on the way from KWA, so if you didn't get one on the first landing, don't worry. We've got even more, tenfold of what we had on the first delivery, so there'll be plenty to go around for everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This is the KWA QRF Mod.1, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.